Hello everyone, my name is XManiac54, and welcome to what is the show, or series, I don't know if it's a show, where I talk about just reviewing in general, like reviewing this and stuff. Now anyways, if you grew up in the early 2000s, then chances are you've probably heard of the Nickelodeon show Invader Zim. But for those of you who haven't, that's okay. But you missed out on a lot. See, Invader Zim was a TV series on Nickelodeon that went from 2001 to 2006, with a total of 2 seasons and 28 episodes. The show follows a very annoying yet excitable alien named Zim, played by Steven Horvitz, who gets outsourced to Earth because the Empire he is in hates him. Once on Earth, he gets a robot helper named Gur, played by, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Roserick Riccati Simmons, as they try to take over Earth. But only one person seems to see through Zim's disguise, and that's a kid named Dib, played by Berman. Cool. And there's also his sister Gaz, played by Militia Fan, who just goes along for the ride, though. The show did very well for itself, expanding their world, characters, and just making us laugh. Overall, the show is great. I would definitely recommend it to someone if you wanted to watch. But anyways, after Season 2, Episode 6, the series was left on an unresolved cliffhanger. That was until 2019 when we got a movie on Netflix, which gave the fans a satisfying conclusion to the series. And today, I want to look it over and ask the question, if you've never seen the show, does the movie work? Well, we're about to find out. Let's take a look at what is Invader Zim, Enter the Florpus. The film opens with Dib giving a basic summary about the show, in this awesome anime style that I just love, honestly.
My name is Dib Membrane. I'm 12 years old, and I'm all that stands between Zim and the annihilation of our world.
Now honestly, I think that this intro is freaking amazing. And of course you may be thinking, well, this guy's an anime fan, of course he'd be obsessed with this intro. But ultimately, that is true, but I also like this intro because it does a brilliant job of capturing what Dib's character is. In the show, Dib was this guy who always kept failing to get his way. However, he would not stop, and he kept on trying over and over again. And I feel like that intro does a really good job of capturing it perfectly, in terms of Dib's attitude towards things and the way he sees the world.
Okay. Am I the only one here who sees the alien sitting in class? How am I still the only person to see Zim's an alien? I mean, come on! Come on! Come on! Right there! That is no kid. He's an alien! An alien! One of the monsters I've been talking about! He's here to conquer Earth. Gaz, I want you to see this. Today, things are gonna change. I'm gonna do something. I'm not just gonna sit back and watch Zim get away with his things he do. I mean, and he's got no ears! Is that part of your skin condition, Zim? No ears? Yes.
Just from those voice lines, I feel like it's pretty obvious you could tell who Dib's character is. He's determined, and he's also very, very persistent. Anyways, after the anime intro, we then cut to the kitchen where we see Membrane and Gaz having dinner together. And if I'm being honest, I can't really tell whether he's better here in the movie or if he was better in the show.
Shh, not now, son. I'm making toast. Why, as a child, I thought sharks were my friends. I know better now. So try to be more supportive. He's your brother, after all.
But once Membrane sees that Dib isn't at the table, he begins to worry. So rather than confronting Dib like a good father should, he sends Gaz in a hazmat suit to go up and get him. We then get a brief glimpse of what has happened to Dib throughout quarantine, as he ditches his room to go figure out why Zim was able to stay off the grid for so long.
Anyhow, Where have have you been, Zim? I've been monitoring your house, the school, that taco place you love so much.
No, Gurr loves that place. I think it's dirty. I ate a baby there. He did.
Dib then asks how Zim was able to stay off the grid for so long, but Zim doesn't listen and instead starts elaborating on how he's gonna take over Earth yet again. This time with a plan he refers to as Phase 2, even though he forgot what it was. But at least his character is the same here as it was in the show. Just like in the show, Zim was overconfident in himself and more likely didn't know how people reacted to certain things. So that's why he was always trying to do his best to look like he was enjoying something even if he hated it, and being crazy even if nobody wanted him to.
Delicious! I'm normal!
Even though he forgot, Zim decides to contact the Tallists to let them know that he's almost ready to take over Earth.
Anyhow, send that transmission through. I wonder who it could ever be.
It is Zim!
My Tallest, you'll be overjoyed to know Phase 1 of my most ingenious plan to prepare Earth for your arrival was a success!
Zim, we thought you were dead.
Zim then remembers that he can't remember what Phase 2 exactly was, and the Tallists hear him, so he just assumes that he's fired. And I actually kind of like the Tallists right here, because we see that they're actually doing some invasion stuff like regular alien armadas do, which lets us know how much power they actually have. Soon afterwards, Dib gets back into shape and is beginning to look like his old self again. He then goes out to his dad to try and tell him that Zim's an alien once again, but his father doesn't believe him, like always. So Dib then takes him to the garage, where he then reveals Tak's ship and a lot of other references from the show. However, Membrane is still not convinced, so Dib tries getting emotional.
It's not! Dad, nobody believes me, so I'm used to defending our world on my own, but I wish, just once, you'd have my back.
Wishing isn't very scientific, son.
Dib then heads over to Zim's place to stop whatever plan he has next, but Zim reveals that he's given up on his goal, especially after he shows Dib that the Tallists aren't going to destroy Earth. Dib then gets the brilliant idea to expose Zim for who he really is at his father's keynote. However, it's revealed that Zim had a trick of his own up his sleeve and sabotages the event.
Greetings, fellow humans. I'm... Professor Zim! Oh, so that other guy just retired and put me in charge. And I just made some exciting new changes to the bracelet.
Zim then encourages a lot of people to start buying the bracelet, which they happily adhere to. Dib then tries to expose that the bracelet isn't as good as Zim says it is, but everyone doesn't listen. Zim decides that now is the best time to throw a bunch of plot at everybody.
I can't believe I fell for your sad schmoopy act!
My schmoop was no act. I truly felt I had failed the Tallest, but then you told me about the power of the bracelet, inspiring me. It's funny, really, and I owe it all to you. I smell pudding. To you!
Zim then reveals that he does have a new plan to take over the planet, so he then activates it right in front of Dib, explaining the whole thing.
Only one being in the known universe has such a power. My creation, Minimus.
Zim, that florpus is gonna destroy the Earth! You included!
Zim then reveals his plan was that he attached a bunch of alien slime-like creatures to the bracelets, and Minimus's power beam was enough to teleport them across the universe, straight in the path where the Tallists were going to be conquering their planets. He also then reveals that he captured Membrane and put him in a galactic space prism, and there's also a giant wormhole that's gonna devour Earth. But it's better known in the movie as the florpus.
Why don't you hop in your spaceship and go rescue it? Oh wait, you don't have a spaceship! Lawrence! Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some tall company on the way!
Gaz then remembers that they still have tax ships, so they decide to use it to go save their dad.
Snibbity-doo, snibbity-doo. Donk, schmick, schmoop, flibbity-lee, dink-dink-bloop.
Dib and Kaz then make it to the space prison, but then immediately get captured and have a quick emotional moment. Then they find Membrane somehow in a different cell and break out. They then make it back to Earth, miraculously, and make it just in time to stop Zim. However, when Dib goes to confront him, Zim doesn't believe him and instead runs off with Minnie Moose.
You're ugly when you lie, Dib!
I'm not lying!
Then why are you ugly?
The boys make it to the place where they had the final battle, but then of course Membrane shows up and decides to go full Iron Man on Zim's robots, I guess.
Why are you wearing those shirts? I never hired any of you! Don't worry, son. I've got your back.
Spencer! Devon! Maria! Lawrence! No!
Destroying the robots makes Zim furious, so he orders Gur to attack. Gur, of course, fails, causing Minnie Moose to end up in the hands of Membrane. But Membrane doesn't know how to use Minnie Moose and get them out of the situation that they're currently in. That be the florpus forming behind Earth, the Urkin Armada showing up at the exact same time, and the Earth about to be swallowed by the florpus. Membrane then again tries to use Minnie Moose to get them out, but instead causes the entire world to change different styles. Honestly, this is like my most favorite part of the entire movie, so how's about I take a quick moment to just dedicate all these amazing different styles. First we have this cool anime style, which I love. This art style, which reminds me a lot of like street art that you probably see around New York. This cute art style that you can't help but just say "aw" at. No, seriously, "aw." Then there's this robot art style, which is actually kind of cool. I'd love to see fan art of that. Identity swap, I guess. This one just reminds me of those, weird animations that, Disney XD would play during commercials. You know, like those weird ones where it's all abstract and stretchy. This one just reminds me of Kaz Van D Pol, who's actually a really good YouTuber. Go check him out. This one also looks like one of the others that you would see in those Disney XD commercials. This one either defines a really bad movie or just makes you hyped up for Halloween in a way. This one I want to hug and squeeze because it's just so cute and want to see more of fan art online. Please, please, please. And this live action one is just perfect in the sense of shapes and scale and everything about the cartoon. It captures all their great parts perfectly. Nice try, but I'm all out of ahs to give. After all these different styles are introduced, Membrane finally gets Minnie Moose working, and together, through a simple mechanism, he saves the planet single-handedly somehow. Once the Earth is out of the way, the tallest then fly into the florpus and get stuck in there. Because, you know, that's what you do when you see a giant vortex in the sky. Then life returns back to normal, and this marks the end of the movie. And that was Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. Was it good? Yes. Why? Because, well, it just was. I feel like this movie has everything a good movie should have. Action, suspense, drama, interesting characters, and a very understandable plot that doesn't get old, and is not rushed at all. This movie somehow managed to capture all of that in just under an hour and a half, mostly. I really appreciate this movie because I feel like it does a great job of talking about the characters, the situation, and just providing a general end to the series that fans have been waiting for a long time. So anyways, to answer the question, does the movie work if you haven't seen the show? Honestly, yes. At least in my opinion, anyway. You guys can have your general opinions. But honestly, I think if you want to watch the movie, go ahead and watch the movie. But if you want to feel the fresh nostalgia, then you really should just watch the show and then watch the movie. And that was my review on Enter the Florpus. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please let me know if you want a second one, I guess. I don't really care. Hey guys, it's Eggs. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it took a while, but I'm glad I finally got this out. Yeah. But anyways, if you want more, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a good day.